Game, set, match.
Daniil Medvedev.
3 sets to
Carlos Alcaraz looked completely out of sorts against Medvedev in the US Open semifinal. After going through multiple injury problems, losing to Djokovic in the Cincinnati Open, and going through a tough draw at the US Open, he just wasn't the Alcaraz we know. Just what happened to Carlos Alcaraz at the US Open? Everyone looked at 2023 as the breakthrough year for Carlos Alcaraz, but it wasn't meant to be, well, not during the hard court season at least. After Alcaraz's win earlier this year at Wimbledon, the tennis gods cursed him in the following tournaments on hard courts. The curse started when Alcaraz was defeated in the quarterfinal of the Canadian Open by American Tommy Paul. He also came up short at the Cincinnati Open where Alcaraz was up against Djokovic in the final. Alcaraz won the first set at Cincinnati, but Novak Djokovic is, well, Novak Djokovic. The match went on for 3 hours and 50 minutes, and Djokovic had to bring his A game to the table. In the end, it was Alcaraz who lost to Djokovic 7-5, 6-7, 6-7, and this left Alcaraz in tears.
My brother here as well. It's
Next up, Alcaraz had his eyes on the US Open as he was coming in as the defending champion. The defense of the US Open title began smoothly for the 20-year-old top seed when the injured German Dominik Koepfer retired in the first round at the US Open.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Koepfer is forced to retire due to injury.
Koepfer suffered an ankle injury only minutes into the match, ultimately retiring with Alcaraz leading 6-2, 3-2. One surprising fact is that the last Grand Slam of the season started with a shift in the top rankings, as Novak Djokovic convincingly defeated Frenchman Alexander Muller, securing his place in the second round and ensuring he would replace Alcaraz as the world #1 after the US Open. Nevertheless, Alcaraz carried the #1 ranking during the Flushing Meadows tournament. Alcaraz, aiming to become the first man to successfully defend his US Open title since Roger Federer achieved 5 consecutive wins from 2004 to 2008, displayed occasional unease on the North American hard courts leading up to the last Grand Slam of the season, but maintained his composure with minimal errors. His mental state looked like that of a champion. It seemed like he was ready to make history. Next up for Alcaraz in the second round was the South African Lloyd Harris, and it was a crowd pleaser to say the least. Alcaraz won 6-3, 6-1, 7-6. Alcaraz had an amazing 68% win percentage on first serve and 64% on second serve, but the critical point was the net game, where Alcaraz won 63% of net points. The third round was an early scare for Alcaraz as he was tested against Daniil Evans. Alcaraz defeated the agile 33-year-old British opponent, winning 6-2, 6-3, 4-6, 6-3. Notably, Alcaraz dominated the net in the first set, winning 15 out of 16 net points. Evans showcased remarkable athleticism in the third set, but lost it 4-6. Alcaraz secured the match in the fourth set with powerful serves and a cross-court forehand. Reflecting on the match, Alcaraz described Evans as a crafty opponent. Next up against the Italian Matteo Arnaldi, the fourth round was quite a walk in the park for Alcaraz, getting the better of Matteo in straight sets 6-3, 6-3, 6-4. Alcaraz ruled the net, winning an impressive 73% of net points, while Matteo managed just 50%. He also secured 92 total points compared to Matteo's 72. Alcaraz was in impeccable form, displaying incredible rhythm and control on the court. It was now time for the all-important quarterfinal, and it was against the German superpower Alexander Zverev. The fans had high expectations for this match, and Alcaraz delivered with a straight-set win 6-3, 6-2, 6-4. His tactical drop shots rattled Zverev, highlighting his versatile game. Alcaraz boasted impressive stats: 76% first serve wins, 62% second serve success, and 28 out of 35 net approaches converted. Alcaraz also had something special to say at the post-match conference. "I'm feeling great physically and mentally. My tennis game is strong. I'm ready to play a great battle against Medvedev in the semifinal." And Alcaraz was now up against his rival Daniil Medvedev. The semifinal was where Alcaraz looked pretty ordinary, and it seemed like he was just not the beast on the court he used to be. He looked completely out of focus and never really settled in, losing 6-7, 1-6, 6-3, and 3-6. The first set was nothing less than a treat for the crowd. Medvedev couldn't conjure up a single break opportunity, and Alcaraz had better support in the crowd. Alcaraz had 2 big set points and he just couldn't convert, leading the set to a tiebreak that the Russian convincingly dominated, winning it 7-3, and reminding everyone that when he's at his best, he can bring down anyone. During the first set tiebreak, Alcaraz unexpectedly lost his composure, coming dangerously close to smashing his racket on the court. After 3-all in the tiebreak, he admitted, "I make 3 or 4 points without control. I didn't think. I totally lose my mind on that set."
I totally lose my mind on that set, and
This was for sure not the best start for the defending champ, giving Medvedev's flawless record of 26-0 after winning the first set in matches at Flushing Meadows. It was evident as Alcaraz's ever-present smile temporarily faded. He tried to get the crowd going to gain some momentum, and even his coaches were pushing him on, whereas every point and unforced error from Medvedev was a celebration. After maintaining his serve to begin the second set, Medvedev seized his first break chance of the match and made it count, securing a 2-0 lead. And if you've not seen the "can't hear you" gesture from Medvedev, you've certainly missed the highlight of the match. Facing a set and break deficit, Alcaraz seemed momentarily uncertain, while the 27-year-old Russian increased the pressure with another break at 5-1, thanks to a sensational backhand down the line that left the crowd gasping in amazement. In the last game of the second set, Alcaraz was looking physically worn out, and it was clear that his focus wasn't there. Medvedev was moving like a machine up and down the court. He won 16 out of 18 points on his first serve, and he wrapped up the second set 6-1. The 20-year-old Spaniard was now backed into a corner, but managed to approach the third set with renewed determination, securing a momentum-building break with a clever lob to go up 3-1. That was all that Alcaraz would need, and he fought valiantly, consistently breaking Medvedev's serve to grab the third set 6-3. In his short but fascinating career, Alcaraz had never come back to win a match after going 2 sets down. The fourth set quickly turned into a test of determination, especially during a tense 13-minute sixth game that saw Medvedev secure a hard-fought break to take a 4-2 lead. With a quick hold in the following game, all the pressure mounted on Alcaraz, who fought with his title defense hanging by a thread, requiring a break to keep the match alive. Alcaraz staged one last remarkable effort in an exhilarating game that swung back and forth, with Medvedev needing 4 match points to seal the deal. In the end, the set was lost by Alcaraz 3-6. In the end, Alcaraz couldn't retain his title as Medvedev secured his spot in the final. Alcaraz managed only 69% first serve points compared to Medvedev's impressive 82%. He also committed 38 unforced errors, while Medvedev had only 32, and his total points won were a mere 121 compared to Medvedev's commanding 141. Alcaraz's defeat can be attributed to several factors. Medvedev conquered the mental battle. Throughout the match, the 27-year-old Russian remained calm and composed, even in the tense third set. During changeovers, Medvedev maintained a tranquil demeanor, while Alcaraz was visibly agitated, bouncing around and hitting balls against the wall. Secondly, Alcaraz struggled to counter Medvedev's vastly improved game. Despite Medvedev failing to take a set off Alcaraz in their previous encounters this year, he dominated at the US Open. Medvedev's exceptional service game further contributed to his victory. He boasted an 88% first serve success rate in the first 2 sets, while Alcaraz struggled with his returns. Alcaraz also squandered 8 out of 9 breakpoint opportunities, where Medvedev broke Alcaraz 3 times in 7 attempts. Crucially, Medvedev played without the burden of pressure, while Alcaraz succumbed to it. The tournament's focus on the potential Djokovic-Alcaraz rematch weighed heavily on Alcaraz, causing him to react negatively. Reacting on this intense match, Alcaraz offered a thoughtful perspective, saying, "These types of matches can happen even if I feel like a different, more mature player." He played exceptionally well, delivering a superb performance. "I aim to improve, and matches like these contribute significantly to personal growth in challenging situations." Renowned tennis coach Darren Cahill commented on Alcaraz's loss to Medvedev, "I think that Wimbledon's success had a bit of a lag effect mentally on him through the whole US summer." He further added, "You could tell that he was struggling a little physically in that semifinal against Medvedev. He didn't show it, and he still played every point like it was the last, and he was there until the end, and he made no excuses after that match." With that loss to Medvedev, Alcaraz has lost his #1 crown, and he has missed the opportunity to win back-to-back US Open championships. What do you think went wrong for Alcaraz in the semifinal against Medvedev?